Welcome to another episode of Figure Talk, the show where I take a figure from my collection, take a quick look and show you some of the cool things I think you'll like about it. And today we've got Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, made by EXO-6. And I love this figure. I'm loving this line. If you saw my Geordie video, I'm over the moon with this line of figures. And I cannot wait until Picard arrives, and I cannot wait until they announce all of the other characters that they haven't announced yet. I've seen a sneak peek of Dr. Crusher and I am so impressed. This line is so good. So let's take a closer look at Data. So something I want to point out straight away is that the skin tone of Data comes across differently on different videos. And what you're seeing right now, I would say, is 92% accurate of the color his skin looks in real life. In real life, it looks like this, but with a couple of little flesh tones to it that you can't really see very well, other than kind of nearby his ear right now. And that's how he looks in person. But moving on from that, wow. I mean, the tailoring on these figures is amazing. But also they get the body proportions perfectly because they've actually got reference material from the shows. So I'm just going to turn up the exposure a little bit so you can see some of the darker areas like the pants and the shoes and everything. And yes, this version came with Spot. He actually came with two versions of Spot. One of them he hangs on his arm. But yeah, the tailoring is always absolutely fantastic with these EXO-6 figures. But they've just gotten the body proportions of Data so perfect. Let me just adjust again so that you can see his face properly. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to go handheld and get in a little bit closer for you guys. So now that I'm a little bit closer in on the face, you can actually see the skin tone, the way it comes across to your eye. And I will say that the hair is a little bit shinier on the camera than it is in real life. But the skin tone is exactly how I see it with my eyes. I've adjusted the camera settings, the white balance and exposure and everything to make it look exactly how I see it. So this is going to be pretty close to what you would see in person. And I have to say, I love the likeness. Now, I didn't notice until just now looking at it really close up. I don't know how close I can get before it goes out of focus there. You see where his sideburn is? There's a little bit of face paint on his hair there. I didn't notice that before. It's going to bug the hell out of me now forever. So thank you, audience, for making me realize that. But yeah, I think the likeness to Brent Spiner is really there in terms of how he looked in season 3, which I think this is what it's based on. They got the mouth and the nose and the eyes just right, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people don't share that opinion, and that's fine. You know, I've found that a lot of the time with likeness, it really is down to the person. You know, you can always get the best approximation as you can, but, you know, the person still might not see it. My wife and I, we always have these opposite opinions on likenesses. I always think something looks just like something, and she thinks it's the opposite or the other way around. And that's fine, because everybody sees things differently, because your mind's eye is not your sort of factual eye, right? And even for the sculptors, their mind's eye is not the same as yours. Their perception, their memory of how something looks, or even their perception of how it looks in the reference material. Of course, it comes with that base that they all come with, and generally I don't use bases, but for these Star Trek ones, I don't know, it just works really well. Let's take a look at some of the smaller accessories. So these figures always come with these magnetic pouches. Let me just show you this in case you've never seen it. There's a little magnet on the back there, and it just sticks to the belt. And you get one for the phaser. So here is the phaser and the tricorder. Phaser's pretty basic, but considering the scale of this, the tricorders always blow my mind because they've got so much little details. And I'm just gonna use my other hand here, so this might get a bit shaky. You can see that it's magnetic. And if you want to, you can fold it up like that. 1 second. Let's make it look a little bit neater. It's very difficult to hold the camera. There you go. So you can fold them up and open them out, these tricorders, and they're magnetic, and then they obviously go in the magnetic holsters as well. But I love that about these figures, and I love these little accessories. And if you want a closer look at Spot, now that we're down here, it's weird. It's like in this lighting, his head looks kind of translucent, but I think it's just a sort of a fake effect given off by the light. But it's a very cute little extra there for Spot. But let's go back up to the full figure. So if you haven't seen my Geordie LaForge video, you won't have seen these two standing together. And it is kind of a sight to behold, because you can just see that they got the body types and the height difference and everything just right. And seeing them together just looks so cool if you're collecting them both. Like, here's a quick look at Geordie, just if you haven't seen him before. Absolutely wonderful figure. And again, got all the same kind of cool aspects to him, with the clothing and the details and the head sculpt and everything. But together they just look so cool. And I did get the special version of Geordie as well, which has his little carry case there. But yeah, Data is an amazing figure. It's a must-have if you're collecting this line, and I just don't think you'll be disappointed. This version of Data came with 2 heads, and the other head is identical, but it has a little compartment in the side that you can open up so that you can see the all of the inner workings of his head, like when Geordie works on him. And I might actually use that head now that I've seen that paint on his hair, because it looks exactly the same anyway. But it's a cool addition for the what they call standard editions, which both of these are, but they're actually the editions that come with extra things, because I think the other version is called Essentials. Anyway, hopefully you found that really interesting, and if you're interested in buying these, I would definitely check out the EXO-6 website, because you can get them shipped to you pretty quickly from there. And I've heard that there's lots of issues with ordering them from Big Bad Toy Store and Sideshow, because there's a lot of waiting involved. So I don't know, might be worth looking at. I've ordered them from there. I haven't had any issues, but I can't speak for everybody. Thanks for watching, guys.